Hi class, this is part 2 of probabilities involving 2 dice decimal answers. An ordinary fair die is a cube with numbers 1 through 6 on the sides represented by painted spots like we saw in the first video. Imagine that such a die is rolled twice in succession and that the face value of the two rolls are added together. This sum is recorded as an outcome of a single trial of the random experiment. Find the probability. Compute the probability of each of the following events. The first event is that the sum is greater than 7. So I'll open up the Excel spreadsheet and I'll highlight all the sums that are greater than 7. And that we can know is going to be 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Those are all numbers that are greater than 7. So I've opened up Excel and I've highlighted those sums that are greater than 7. And when we count those values, we have the following. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 eights, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we have 15 of the values that are sums greater than 7 out of 36. And so we can go back to our Alex calculator and we have 15 divided by 36, which is 0.42 when we round to 2 decimal places. The next one is asked that the sum is divisible by 5 or 6 or both. In our particular case, we won't have a sum that's divisible by both because 5 times 6 is 30 and we don't have a sum that's more than 12. But if this were the case where it was 2 or 3, then what they're saying is the number can be divisible by 2 or 3 or both. For example, 6 is divisible by 2, also divisible by 3. So that's the case of both. So that's what they mean by both. So in our particular case, we're just looking at numbers that are divisible by 5, which would be 5 and 10, and numbers that are divisible by 6, which would be 6 and 12. Those are multiples of 5 that are included in the sum and multiples of 6 that are included in the sum. So let's go ahead and remove those values for which we don't have those properties. So now we have our values, our sums highlighted, and we can see that we have 5 occurs 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and we also had that in an earlier problem. The 5 occurs 4 times. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, so it's 1 more than the 5. 10 occurs 3 times, and 12 occurs once. And so when we add those together, 4 plus 1 is 5, and 5 is 10, so there's 13 that add up together. So we're going to have 13 out of the 36 values that are going to be divisible by 5 or 6 or both. So I'll change that 15, I hit the undo button and change that 15 to 13, and we have 0.36. Let's do one more. All right, so here we have that the sum is greater than 9, and then for event A, and that the sum is an odd number for event B. So let's take a look at our Excel spreadsheet and see those values that are greater than 9. So greater than 9 are going to be 10, 11, and 12. So we have 3 10s, 2 11s, which make 5, and then the 12 makes 6. So 6 out of 36 are going to be greater than 9. Which is 0.17. And then now they ask for the sum as an odd number. So odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. And since 1 is not one of the sums, we'll get rid of it. So those are the odd numbers that are part of the sums, because the sums go from 2 all the way up to 12. So we're going to take a look at how many 3s, 5s, 7, and 9s and 11s we have. So now I've highlighted all the odd numbers. So I have 3 and it occurs 2 times. I have 5 and it occurs 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I have 7, and we did that earlier. 7 occurs 6 times. And then we have 9, and 9 occurs 1, 2, 3, 4 times, so it's the same as 5. And then 11 occurs twice. And so when we add up those numbers, 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 6 is 12, 12 plus 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18. So there's 18 out of 36 of the values that are odd. And you would expect that. Half of the numbers are odd and the other half are even. 18 out of 36 are odd, and then we'd have 18 out of 36 even. So half is considered 0.5, but we'll write it as 0.50 for 2 decimal places. So I hope this movie on probabilities involving 2 dice, decimal answers, was helpful for you. And this is part 2.